Hi, it's KCCK's Culture Crawl. I'm Dennis Green, and my guests today are Lynne Rothrock and Blake Shaw. Familiar voices and faces to the KCCK crowd. Welcome.
Thanks, Dennis.
Nice.
Thanks for having us.
Yeah, nice to have you here. So, Lynne, you've got a show coming up this weekend.
That's correct.
And you're sharing the billing.
I'm sharing the billing.
Which is a little unusual right off the top.
Oh, wow. Let me just say, not by choice. I love to share.
Not by choice that you're sharing the billing?
No, I am. I'm sharing the billing, that's, of course, by choice, but it is, oh, God, I don't know how to start this. I love to share the billing more often than I get a chance to do. So, yes, I'm excited to share the billing with Mr. Blake Shaw.
It's Blake Shaw.
It's Blake Shaw.
Yeah. So,
perhaps you've heard of him. He plays everywhere, every night of the week.
I'm just trying to eat every day.
Yes.
Well, Blake's had a busy season with us. Just a couple of weeks ago, he was teaching at KCCK's Jazz Band Camp and has been the host of our student jam sessions throughout the school year, which are going to be firing up. And it's kind of out there that you are joining the Kirkwood faculty.
Yep, we're finally real co-workers now.
Yes.
We're getting paid from the same place.
Wow.
I'm really excited to start at Kirkwood. I've already got ideas for the bands and stuff, so just ready to get started.
So for those following along at home, Joe Perea, who had been the band director at Kirkwood for years, has had an opportunity to move overseas to the Netherlands. And in the interim, while we figure out what we're going to do, Blake is going to be directing the bands and teaching some classes. So a lot of stuff going on.
That's awesome. And I actually remember when Blake was a student here at Kirkwood.
As do I.
Yes, and I was a teacher. I was teaching here for a while, and that's how I first remember meeting Blake. He was a student at Kirkwood.
So I know that you two have collaborated in the past, but what led you to decide to do this kind of duo show? I know there are more musicians than the two of you, and we'll get to that.
Oh, that's okay. Yeah. So actually, 1 year Blake played on my Christmas show. And I feel like it was when Dave Ollinger's wife was getting a new heart. So Blake kind of stepped in, and we had a great time with him. And then I ran into you at First Friday Jazz that I was doing with the Shanleys, and talking and thinking how fun it would be to do something together. And as what often happens is you have that kind of conversation, and it might be a year or 2 years or something, before the idea comes. And I thought of it for this summer, and it seemed like a good time. And so that's kind of how the genesis of it. In terms of just what it was going to be, we just kind of had to toss around some ideas, and it'll be kind of a lot of different stuff. And Blake will also be playing cello on some things.
I always forget about that. We got to practice a little bit more.
Yes.
All right. Note to self: practice the cello.
Yeah, and so, we were just sort of like threw songs into a Dropbox folder, and let's see what happens. But he'll be singing, and we'll be singing a couple things together and playing cello. So it's kind of a big mix, I think, of stuff.
So, Blake, you you sing a lot more than you used to. It's become a real staple in your shows, and I know that you spent the last year or so of your grad program at the U of I taking voice lessons and working on voice in addition to everything that you've done with the bass. But little intimidating to sing with this lady here?
Of course. Oh my gosh. The Queen of Iowa.
Oh my God.
So like she said, I collabed with her with the Christmas show or whatever, and right from then I knew that I wanted to do some more. So I was really excited that we finally got together to do this, and like she said, we kind of just put all these tunes in this folder, and I challenged her with the tune that I've been wanting to play with the singer for a long time, a Kurt Elling tune. You know me. So this is just so fun. I collab with people all the time, but doing something with this caliber of musicians is just so nice.
Lynne, one of the things I love the most about your shows is that while you kind of began your performing career as a cabaret performer, you've really become kind of a musical chameleon, and you adjust you adjust and stretch out based on who you're with. When you and Ron performed together, you did a lot of stuff rooted in the blues, and when you're with your Nashville friends, there's always a little country going on there.
Thank you for saying that. I love that.
So what kind of new wrinkles will happen now that you're with this guy?
Well, I think I at least kind of went into this thinking more jazz, and then and also like when he talks about the Kurt Elling tune, that's just bass and voice. So there's some stuff that's kind of out of my box, and then we're doing a little bit of. I'm certainly not going to scat. I'm not going to scat. But there's a little bit of sort of improvisatory feeling that I would say as over the years, I've gotten more comfortable with that idea. It just was never part of my experience. And then I stood next to the best for a long time, Ron DeWitt. I think I would say I'm leaning with more of a jazz feel on this. What do you think?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Jazz feel and just improvisation in general, I think. Everything that I do on the bass is made up. You give me some chords and I make up my own bass line. And I'm doing a little bit of that on cello. And I will be scatting, for sure. I'm going to do a little
And
scat.
I will happily allow that to happen. And not join you, probably. I don't know.
We got some good
I was going to say,
response.
I don't know. That was always a joke I had because I don't think that I'm particularly good at that. I think it's a very particular skill and not that many people are great at it, but the idea of it is broader, I would say, than actually when I'm joking about scatting. The idea of, altering melodies and coming up with just little things is actually kind of fun in the moment. So,
Blake, who you've worked with before, but kind of new to this ensemble, but the rest of the quartet and four, right? Quartet?
It's four of us.
Is your usual collaborators look like Julia and Greg?
Yep. That's right, Julia Andrews and Greg Cans. Cute little Greg Cans.
So, without spoiling too much, we mentioned a Kurt Elling tune, so I am with that. I am in. But what other highlights do you think that people are going to catch that maybe might be a little surprise for them?
I will say that I have a couple kind of esoteric ballads that they won't have heard of that are going to, I think, be really beautiful with cello. And that's hard to get people excited to look forward to something they've never heard before, but I think that for me, those might be highlights because I love singing with a cello and a string. And then we're doing a combo of in a mellow tone
with a tune by Ben Webster called "Did You Call Her Today?" So I had this idea for a mashup. If the jazz nerds out there might know that the changes for "In a Mellow Tone" and "Did You Call Her Today" are the same changes but in a different key. So we're gonna mash up those tunes just a little bit, and I really like what's going on. So
yeah, I think that's cool. There is a tune called "Back on Bass" that is a vaguely dirty song about a bass and a singer, and I think it's also super cool. I'm trying to think of what
I'm
else.
doing some Count Basie as usual.
Yes.
I have a Billy Strayhorn tune that I love to do. So kind of my regulars on those front.
Yeah.
A few of the regular things, a few new things as well,
Yeah,
which
absolutely.
is exactly the point.
Yeah. We're doing, we're also even doing I just pulled some stuff that I haven't done in a really long time. Like we're going to do kind of my version of New York State of Mind. And there's a Bonnie Raitt tune we're doing. And then some great old jazz stuff like Cheek to Cheek and I don't know. I can never think of them right off the top of my head. But we've got a lot of.
I don't know. I think we've mentioned about 7 hours worth of
Sorry.
songs right now.
They'll all be extended with huge solo sections.
So come and pack a lunch. So August 11 and 12.
Yes.
So
at
coming right up at the beautiful Opus Concert Cafe, one of our favorite venues, and you can get tickets through Orchestra Iowa.
Yeah, artsiowa.com is the website. And I guess you can also get them if you wanted to pick them up at the Orchestra Iowa box
You
office.
can visit the box office, yeah.
And I'm sure, hopefully, unless they're completely sold out, you could probably get them at the door if you needed to.
Well, there was no first Friday in August, so this is kind of your
there was
chance to
not.
see. Yeah, we're taking August off now.
Oh, nice.
Taking July and August, and then starting things up in September.
Got it. Okay.
For First Friday. So
Okay.
if you've been missing getting to see a good concert at Opus, this is your chance.
Awesome.
So Friday and Saturday, what time things start?
7:30.
7:30.
With our fabulous Ed Carr doing sound and making all the magic happen. So that's really my favorite room to sing in. So love it.
Definitely. And if people want more information about either of you in addition to this, where can they find you online?
I'm at LynneRothrock.com. Lynne has an E on the end of it.
I'm on Facebook, but I'm a millennial. You can find me on Instagram. The Blake Bass, THEE.
I'm on Instagram as well, but information about me is not. I don't. Whatever.
Yeah.
I put it all out there on Instagram. So
As am I, but it's really boring.
I know. I got almost nothing on it.
It's mainly pictures of my cat.
I'm on Facebook too, but the actual information about me is on my website. So.
ArtsIowa.com for tickets to Lynne Rothrock and Blake Shaw coming up this weekend, Friday and Saturday at the Opus Concert Cafe. Thanks so much for being here. Sounds like a blast.
Thanks,
you.
Dennis.
You can hear the Culture Crawl live on the radio many weekdays at 10:30, or download the podcast, watch or listen on your own schedule at kcck.org/culture, or using your favorite podcast player. I'm Dennis Green, and I'll talk to you later.